Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to cut through the noise and get right to the heart of something we all do every single day, really. Communicate. We've got this, well, fascinating document here that actually breaks down daily English conversations and what it reveals. It's maybe more profound than you might expect.
Yeah, it's interesting. Our source for this deep dive is basically a collection of 50 common questions and answers. You know, the kind originally designed to help people practice real-world English. So our goal today is to really dig into these everyday chats. It's not just about what people say, right?
Yeah.
But how those seemingly simple words actually build connections and share meaning. We want to help you tune into the natural rhythm of how people truly talk.
Okay, so let's kick things off with the morning routine. This first section of our source material, it jumps right into how we start our days. It's pretty remarkable how these, simple questions immediately start painting a picture of someone's foundational daily habits. Like, think about, what time do you usually wake up? It's a straightforward question, but it sets the initial scene for their day. Maybe 7 a.m., for instance.
And it's more than just a fact, isn't it? These initial questions, they act as crucial conversational on-ramps, you could say. They immediately establish common ground because, well, frankly, we all have some kind of morning routine.
Yeah, we do.
So knowing someone usually eats eggs and toast with coffee, or maybe that they're guilty of checking their phone for messages and emails right away.
Oh, yeah, the phone check.
Exactly. It gives you an instant, relatable snapshot. What's striking here is how these small shared habits become these universal touch points, even before a deeper conversation really begins.
That phone checking confession is a perfect example, I think. It's not just a detail. It feels like a shared vulnerability almost. It taps into a common, maybe slightly guilty modern habit, and that shared minor imperfection, it can create instant empathy.
Yeah, it's less about judging the habit and more about that immediate connection. And the details just keep flowing, don't they? We learn it takes maybe about 30 minutes to get ready, or that exercise might be a sometimes thing, perhaps a walk or yoga. Even the commute details, like wearing smart casual clothes or driving, but sometimes taking the bus. And the role of music wakes me up and lifts my mood. That adds another layer.
And their first task at work, often something like check emails and write a to-do list. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How much of our daily communication is just, sharing these basic, often unconscious personal rhythms. We're constantly broadcasting them, really.
It's profoundly significant, I think. Those seemingly small confessions, like checking your phone first thing, they aren't just details. They're kind of emotional connectors. They tap into a universal experience, an unspoken understanding that forms an immediate bond, often maybe more powerful than some grand statement. They reveal a preference for routine, maybe, or flexibility for order or spontaneity.
So, okay, we've established the personal rhythm of a morning. But as the day progresses, our interactions, they shift, don't they? We move from those personal habits to navigating the professional landscape and, finding those crucial moments to unwind. This next section of our material is where things get really interesting, I think. It dives into the working day and beyond. Consider a question like, do you work in a team or alone? Seems simple,
right?
But it tells you so much about their work style. The example answer is, mostly in a team, collaborate on projects.
And what truly stands out here is how the conversation just sort of seamlessly moves from factual info to personal preferences and even coping mechanisms. This part of the source material really highlights that delicate balance people strike between professional duties and personal enjoyment. The implications for connection are pretty clear. Sharing these details builds a deeper, more holistic understanding of someone's life.
Exactly. And take the simple but incredibly effective conversation starter. How do you usually start a conversation with your colleagues? Our source suggests a classic. Hey, how was your weekend?
Yeah.
The standard.
It's a masterclass in low-stakes entry, isn't it? Open-ended enough to invite detail, but generic enough not to feel intrusive. It's about finding that common temporal ground.
Yeah, definitely.
And then there's the lunchtime routine, often just eating lunch and sometimes going for a short walk. Simple stuff. Meetings, for many, seem to be an almost daily occurrence. And stress management, sometimes it's as simple as taking deep breaths and breaking tasks into smaller steps.
Absolutely. And then we transition into the evening. which often involves, winding down from work. They might finish around 6 p.m., then relax, cook dinner, and sometimes watch a movie. You learn about their cooking preferences maybe, yes, especially on weekends, and how often they eat out once or twice a week. Even details like liking Italian food, pasta, and pizza as a favorite. It makes you consider, how do these seemingly mundane details, like a preference for pasta, really contribute to a sense of connection in conversations? They're not just facts, are they? That's a great point. I think it's because they're not just facts. They're glimpses into someone's personal world, right?
Yeah.
Their comfort zones, their passions. When you find out someone else loves Italian food or watches mystery dramas, it creates this immediate little us versus them dynamic.
Yeah.
But in a good way, us being those who share this thing.
Yeah, a shared interest.
Them being everyone else who doesn't quite get it.
Yeah.
And then we get to hobbies and free time, where personalities can really shine. They might read books and play video games, or maybe play tennis on weekends. Music preferences like rock and pop music, or TV watching habits. Yes, I'm currently watching a mystery drama. It all adds layers. Even the preference for staying in or going out on weekends is shared, with some liking, both depending on my mood.
Right, the flexibility.
Now, let's unpack how these conversations kind of expand to connect us with the wider world. From daily errands to maybe bigger adventures, it often starts with shopping habits, which can be surprisingly revealing, actually. Some admit they don't really like shopping, but they shop when necessary, often online or at the mall. Grocery shopping is a regular chore, usually once a week.
And this section really illustrates how everyday conversations stretch beyond just personal routines. They get into consumer behavior, leisure choices, even dreams. The level of detail provided, it allows for deeper conversational hooks, For instance, the emphasis on smart shopping. Do you compare prices before buying?
Right, yeah.
Always. I love getting the best deal. And using coupons, yes, they help save a lot of money. That highlights a shared value for many people. It's a quick way to gauge someone's practical approach to life. And finding common ground on something like saving money can be a surprisingly strong bond.
I agree. It's very practical. And then the weekends kick in. Activities like meeting friends, going to the park, or watching a movie. Standard weekend stuff. But it's not just about city life. Many enjoy connecting with nature. There's nature trips are my favorite for hiking or camping.
That desire for nature comes up a lot.
It does. And personal development is there too, like taking painting classes every Sunday.
Yeah.
Family connections seem strong, with visiting family often, like maybe parents' house every Saturday. And, well, who can argue with a warm bath and a good book is a favorite way to relax?
Hard to beat that one. Zooming out a bit, the implications are clear. Sharing specific likes, dislikes, and dreams makes conversations just more dynamic, more memorable. The shift to travel is particularly interesting, I think. People absolutely love exploring new places. A favorite country visited might be Japan. The food, the culture, everything was amazing.
Japan, yeah.
Then there's the classic beach or mountains question. The example leans towards beach. I love the ocean. And whether they travel alone or with others, many seem to prefer traveling with friends. This segment really highlights how these details become instant common interests. They let you gauge shared values and, potential future activities with someone.
Okay, so what does this all mean for us, really? This final set of questions, it gets right to the heart of what we often call small talk. And it truly reveals those personal quirks that make us unique. It starts with the timeless weather check. How's the weather today? It's sunny and warm, perfect for a walk. Simple.
Can't go wrong with the weather.
Never. Then it moves to current events. Maybe like, did you watch the news today? And the classic follow-up, no, not yet. Anything interesting?
Right. And what's striking to observe here is how these seemingly light questions allow for sharing personality and personal preferences. They move beyond just factual information to actually reveal character. For example, recent movies like Inside Out 2, which apparently was great, or current books, perhaps a novel about time travel. They offer insights into someone's interests, right? Even weekend plans, like just relaxing and maybe meeting some friends, offer a glimpse into their leisure choices. These aren't just random facts. They're like little identity markers in the conversation.
And it gets even more personal. Asking about a favorite holiday often brings out warm feelings. The example is Christmas, the lights, and family time. The morning person or night owl debate is always a fun one. Some definitively declare definitely a night owl.
I relate to that one.
And the great tea or coffee divide, settled for many with a resounding coffee. Can't start my day without it. Even the cats or dogs question. Dogs, they're loyal and so loving. It tells you something about their emotional connections, maybe their capacity for affection.
Yeah, these little preferences say a lot. This section really underscores the power of small talk, doesn't it? To build rapport, discover shared interests, even if the initial info seems, well, trivial, it all kind of culminates in that one non-negotiable daily habit. What's one thing you do every day without fail? And for many, the answer is, I listen to at least one English podcast.
Yeah, nice plug there.
Well, it was in the source. But it makes you wonder, how can we use these types of, seemingly light questions to genuinely move beyond just surface level interactions? How do we find that meaningful common ground with others? It's about listening for the value behind the answer, maybe.
That's a great way to put it. So we've journeyed through the intricacies of daily conversation, haven't we? From the wake-up call all the way to that daily podcast habit. This deep dive really shows how every question and answer, no matter how simple it seems, contributes to this rich tapestry of understanding and connection.
Absolutely. And the core insight from this deep dive, I think, is that true fluency in conversation isn't just about knowing vocabulary or grammar. Important, yes, but it's really about understanding the practical flow of daily life and having the language to navigate it smoothly. The source clearly shows that engaging in these types of daily conversations is indeed the key to building both fluency and confidence.
So here's something for you to think about. How many of these questions do you answer every day, maybe consciously, maybe unconsciously? And what new question could you perhaps introduce into your daily conversations tomorrow to learn something surprising about someone else? Or maybe, just maybe, about yourself?